Spreading positions across many assets makes each individual path follow a distinct trajectory. The paths look different. They move independently through their own state spaces. But a systematic event does not select paths individually. It imposes a common shock that absorbs all of them at once. The diversity of trajectories is irrelevant when the absorbing event is common. Diversification does not cancel the possibility of ruin. It cancels idiosyncratic variance. Portfolio variance splits into two structurally different components. Idiosyncratic variance is specific to each asset. It averages away as the portfolio grows. Covariance terms are shared across assets. They depend on correlations and do not average away. When correlations are zero, portfolio variance goes to zero with diversification. But the absorption barrier is not a function of portfolio variance. The two quantities live in different parts of the state space. Three independent assets each carry their own absorption probability. For independent paths, the probability that all three survive multiplies together. But a systematic shock does not act independently on each path. It is a common forcing term. All paths see the same event simultaneously. The joint survival probability under a common shock is not the product of individual probabilities. The paths absorb together, regardless of how diverse they were before the shock. As diversification increases, portfolio variance follows a curve toward zero. Ruin probability follows a different curve. It decreases initially, then flattens. There is a floor that additional diversification cannot breach. That floor is the systematic ruin probability, determined by the common shock structure. Variance and ruin probability are not the same quantity. Optimizing one does not optimize the other. In normal market conditions, correlations between assets are low. Diversification genuinely reduces variance. The covariance terms are small, but correlations are not fixed parameters. They are state-dependent. Under a systematic shock, correlations spike toward 1. The variance reduction that diversification provided collapses precisely when it is most needed. The model that assumed fixed correlations breaks at the moment of the event it was meant to hedge. Ruin probability is a function of the joint distribution of all paths and the position of the absorption barrier. Portfolio variance is a function of the cross-sectional dispersion of returns. These are different mathematical objects. Independent diversification drives portfolio variance to zero. It does not move the absorption barrier and does not reduce systematic ruin probability. Diversification is not insurance against ruin. It insures against idiosyncratic loss only.